Well, the weekend has come to a close, but we do not end things here. So today we're going to be reviewing, of course, ChocoPro with their latest show, number 450. Nothing too special in case anybody asks, but there's a very interesting part that happened in the main event that might involve, of course, some championship match that would take place in later on, I believe, in this month. So we'll get to that. And then, of course, we have more with New Japan Pro Wrestling with day 6 of the Best of the Super Juniors. Now, keep in mind, we're now in a crucial situation. Who will be taking the lead? Who will be undefeated? Who will be losing their undefeated streak? So we're going to go from A to Z on that. And, of course, some shenanigans from various people and cool moments that we might never forget in this. But first things first, many of you remember I mentioned that I need to catch up with certain events, mostly coming from the Joshi Wrestling side. Now, there's one, of course, that happened in Las Vegas called Spark Joshi Puroresu America. They recently did an event in Las Vegas called Lady Luck. This one features, of course, 3 championship matches and other special matches, so I can't wait to review this one for all of you. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But as always, we will cap up our episode as usual with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. It's time to burn rubber. So let's begin, of course, with our very first review, and this is coming from all the way from last month with Spark Joshi Puroresu of America. Okay, Spark Joshi Puroresu of America. Now, some of you may question what the hell is this promotion. This is a promotion based here in America, but where they feature, of course, Joshi wrestlers from Japan, and it's run by a girl named Chibe. She can speak fluently in Japanese in case anybody asks. So she was able to bring in wrestlers from Japan, coming from Stardom wrestlers, freelance wrestlers, wrestlers from other promotions, and I have reviewed maybe 1 or 2 of these events, but it's been a while since I did one of them. And they have 3 championships. There's the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the World. So basically, there's that. You probably ask yourselves, why am I doing this now? Well, because I had to catch up with everything else. I got some errands that were coming in, so I thought, what better time to do this now? Because I need to catch up with all the Yoshi wrestling events, starting with this one. So let's begin with our very first match. Now, our first match first match features a four-way. We have Brittany Blake versus Jocelyn Navarro versus Momo Watanabe versus Azumi. Now, of course, when it comes to four ways, fatal four ways, anything could happen. I mean, it's hard to determine who is going to walk out as the winner because anything could be shown. But of course, many of you probably would go out. It has to be a Stardom talent because they're well recognized throughout the world, and that's what probably would have we assumed. But moment is Momo Watanabe, usual with her dirty tricks. She brought in the baseball bat to whack everybody, but it was of course Momo with the buzzsaw kick onto Jocelyn Navarro, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she picked up the win. Next up, we have tag team action. We have Maya World teaming up with Nightshade. They take on Yoshi Legends, Kyoki Inoi, who many of you may have heard of her, and she's also the promoter of Yoshi Promotion World Woman Pro Wrestling Diana, or just simply Diana. So that's her promotion. And of course, many of you may know her. Many of you may have seen her on the first ever pay-per-view of AEW. And of course, as Jim Ross said from the very beginning, she's the kind of woman who doesn't, you see, make biscuits. And that's right, Aja Kong. So she was there. So basically, this is where Maya World and Nightshade have to face the Legends. So of course, it's going to be a very interesting matchup because you're facing against two veteran wrestlers who have been around for a long time. But they have to keep an eye on Aja Kong, who is far more dangerous than everyone else in the ring. But as always, it was the Legends who walked away to win, thanks to Aja Kong with the spinning back face on Nightshade. And just like that, good night, Irene. 1, 2, 3, over. Just like that, Aja Kong and Kyoko Moore picked up the win. Our next match, we have, of course, another tag team action. We have Jada Stone teaming up with the former Spark Yoshi World Champion, now currently the 1/3 of the Artists of Stardom champions and White Belt champion of Stardom, Starlight Kid. They face against Zoe Lucas. Many of you may remember her. She is this wrestler based out of the UK, and she had a deep connection with Hana Kimura as a member of the Tokyo Cyber Squad. She teams up with the leader of God's Eye, Shuri. So it's a very interesting match to watch. I mean, Starlight Kid and Shuri, probably many of you probably would say one of those two could pick up the win. But of course, Zoe Lucas does have a connection with Stardom. I mean, we haven't seen her in Stardom for a long time, not since before the pandemic. But I have to say, it's great to see her. You know, I know she's been out of action for a while because many of you may not know this. Her husband died from COVID-19, and it was very tough on her. But it's great to see her again. I felt like she hasn't missed a beat. But however, she was the one who ended up on the wrong side of the Black Tiger leg killer by Starlight Kid, and just like that, it was over. Now, our first of the 3 championship match, the Spark Yoshi Pacific Championship. Ram Kaicho takes on Bert Vixen as a member of the faction known as Extinguish, who are determined to collect all championships to prove that they are the ones that run the entire promotion. But however, of course, Bert Vixen has to deal with Ram Kaicho. But at the moment, Ram Kaicho had this match won. But however, Sumi Sakai and Danny Mo got involved by pulling the ref. And then, of course, it was Bert Vixen with the brainbuster onto Ram Kaicho. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, brand new champion in the most despicable way ever. So, just like that, it was over. So, Bert Vixen picked up a championship win for Extinguish. So, that's how it rolls up. So, let's move on. We have our next championship match. Well, this one features the Spark Yoshi Atlantic Championship. Danny Mo, who's also a member of Extinguish, determined to also repeat the same process with the champion Saki from Colors, and of course a dear friend of Chibe, who is of course her sister in some way, in every way. So you probably ask yourselves, would the history repeat itself again? Well, it kind of did, but it backfired. I mean, it's like this, guys. Don't try to repeat the same old process twice, because you know the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. So I'm sure they must have figured this one out sooner or later, but it did not work in favor of Extinguish. But Saki walked away with a double knee drop onto the abdomen of Danny Mo, and just like that, Saki retained the championship. Now, our main event is the Spark Yoshi World Championship. Many of you may notice that the Stardom referee, I forgot his name, Daichi, was there too. But this title, if for many of you who don't know, this title became vacant. Many of you may ask, who was the previous champion? Well, she was the inaugural champion, and of course she relinquished it. Starlight Kid. Many of you may ask, why did she relinquish it? Simple. Because I think they knew from the very beginning that Starlight Kid might win the Wonder of Stardom Championship, aka the white belt, and she did. So there was no point for her to hold on to this belt while she becomes the white belt champion, because as a white belt champion, she needs to focus on that, and that's why this belt was vacant. And they picked two competitors, Lena Cross and then Azuki. So they faced off for the match. But man, this match was anticipation. I wasn't too sure where this was going to go. I'm sure many people might have assumed Azuki would win, even though they would rather see her win some of the Stardom championships. But Azuki walked away with the win when she applied the Magistral, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, brand new Spark Yoshi World Champion. Just like that. So from then on, of course, we've been seeing Azuki in recent Stardom events with the belt. I'm sure she'll defend it in the upcoming event in June with Spark in Texas. So we'll see how that rolls up from there. But as of right now, we are officially finished with Spark. So let's move on with our next review, and that is ChocoPro. Okay, ChocoPro number 450 back in Ichigaya Square. This is the much recent event, so basically I catched up. So, as we begin with the opening, as always, with that unknown female personnel, I don't know who she is, but she gave the info, the greetings, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, let's begin with our first match. Our first match is a three-way: Tokiko Kihara versus Shin Suzuki versus Balinaki. Now, what's interesting about this match, for those who don't know, there's been a rivalry for quite some time, I don't know how long, between both Shin Suzuki and Balinaki. This dates back, of course, when Balinaki was the Super Asian champion, and Shin Suzuki did everything humanly possible to win that title, but in no luck, he came up short. Then he tried again, but this time in a non-title, where he was not the champion at all, and walked away with the win. But the real question is, does the rivalry continue? Well, it does in some capacity. Now, of course, you may look at Tokiko Kihara, who's like has nothing to do with the rivalry. She might look like she's gonna pick up the win. However, that wasn't the case, because Shin played a very smart game, because he knows beating Balinaki is not going to be an easy. So for him, the easiest target was Tokiko, because he was able to isolate Balinaki outside the mat when he kicked them outside through the window, and just like that, he applied the schoolboy onto Tokiko, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he walked away with the win. Now, our next match, we have a bit of a six-man. No, is it? Yeah, we have a tag team match. We have the Egg Tarts, Chiko Shikawa and Hagane Shino, taking on Kaho Hiromi and Mei Shruga. So yes, so you have the cutest girls around, and one who's like the slide, I like to call the little slide devil, the one who's all about fun and games. But however, when it comes to Hagane Shino, there's no fun and games with him. But she, as you know, she is a rival to Mei Shruga. I'm sure she is looking at her saying, I want that belt you have in your possession. But however, beating her is not going to be an easy task for Chi. Even Hagane knows that too, because she is a bit more predictable than any other person they could have faced. But of course, the most likely person to take the fall was Kaho, and unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. Kaho got pinned by Chi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our main event, we have Soy once again teaming up with Miya Yatsuba to take on Hiromi Yawada and one half of the Asian Dream Tag Team Champions, Sayaka. So it's a very interesting, delicate situation. But I'll explain more about this at the news updates, or a little bit about that. But anyway, uh, one thing is interesting. Many of you may think, okay, how this match is going to end. Factors is you look at Soy and Hiroyi. Most likely, they're the ones who have the least experience than both Miya and Miya has about 2 or 3 years of experience. As for Sayaka, about maybe a couple years of experience or so. So that plays it out too well as well on their part. But in the end, it was, of course, Miya with the Miya hammer onto Hiroyi, and just like that, it was over. Now, during the bit of the post match, it seems that Soy and Miya have their sights set on the tag belts. So we most likely will see that. But I will explain more about that in, of course, the bigger news that took place on our news updates. Now, for our Junkin tournament, I wasn't too sure what's going to happen, but I can tell you neither the Egg Tarts or the Best Bros picked up the win. But the last two that made it all the way was Miya Yatsuba and Kaho, but it was Kaho who walked away with the win. And just like that, she walked away with a piece of chocolate. So there will be more information coming about ChocoPro for one of their upcoming events. That's going to be on our news update a little later. But right now, let's move on with our last and final review, and that is, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling with Best of the Super Juniors. A final review. New Japan Pro Wrestling with Day 6 of Best of the Super Juniors. Now, to make a note on this one for everyone, keep in mind, we're now in the crucial part where, of course, there'll be wrestlers that will be either in the lead of their respective blocks, or those who were undefeated, or those who were still at the bottom, but they still need to get their first 2 points, or whatever. So we're in that critical part. We're not there yet, where, of course, eliminations will be announced who is out of the tournament, but they will continue to wrestle until the final day. So we'll get to that at some point. But as of right now, let's begin with our first match, starting with the B block. We have Nick Wayne versus Ryusuke Taguchi. Now, keep in mind, for those who remember, on day 5, Nick Wayne suffered his first loss against, of course, Kevin Blackwood. Now, Kevin Knight, actually. Now, he could have been in the lead, had 8 points, but however, he was undefeated, and now he is trying to rebound from what that is, and he faces against Taguchi. So far, Taguchi, as you know, he is also in a good position at 6 points. But the real question is who's going to walk out. Of course, we're going to see Taguchi try to apply his usual shenanigans, but unfortunately, that did not do any well for him, because Nick Wayne picked up the win when he applied Wayne's World, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So Nick Wayne gains 2 points with the total of 8, giving him, of course, with 4 wins and possibly 1 loss. Yes. And as for Taguchi, well, I think he has 3 wins and 2 losses with a total of 6 points. So we'll see how things roll out. Now, Nick Wayne is, in my opinion, could be one of those wrestlers that could remain at the top as long as it goes all the way to the finals. But we'll see what happens. Now, jumping to the A block, we have Yoshinobu Kanemaru and versus Ninja Mac. Now, of course, Kanemaru, as a member of Hate, we know the kind of prick he is. He would try to cheat. Not to mention, he has the whiskey bottle. But the one thing that was really messed up, he tried to take off Ninja Mac's mask. We're like, hell no. But I have to say, I give Ninja Mac credit. I think he must have saw this one coming a mile away. I don't think he was well prepared that Ninja Mac had another mask. So if I have to bet on Ninja Mac being very prepared for a guy like Kanemaru, I make a bet on that. So that's how I see it. But of course, he tried to use the whiskey. It did not work in his favor. He even tried poking his eyes out, but it didn't work either until Ninja Mac picked up the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, over, just like that, giving him his next 2 points with a total of 4. So he had, as soon as he won, he just skedaddled. But however, I think he has a 2-win, 3-loss. As for Kanemaru, let's see what he has. Well, he has 2 wins and 3 losses. So basically, he still has 4 points. Now back to the B block. We have Teton versus Kevin Knight. Now, of course, Kevin Knight, as you know, he was able to pick up his first 2 wins on day 5. But Teton, many people are saying that he's most likely one of those competitors that could, in fact, win the entirety of the tournament. And I'm sure we all can think the same thing too. But Kevin Knight was able to defeat him. First, he applied a spike DDT, and then he tried the UFO splash, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Now for our point system in this match. Well, as I said, Kevin Knight gained 2 more points, so he has the total of 4. So that means he has 2 wins and 3 losses. As for Teton, as of right now, he has 3 wins and 2 losses. So I would say that maybe Teton could be one of those wrestlers in my list that could possibly make it through, but we'll just have to wait and see. Our next match, we have back to A block, Robbie X versus Kosa Fujita. Now, as I said before, much like Nick Wayne, Kosa Fujita, in the other hand, also was undefeated until he lost recently to Kushida. So the real question is, how does he bounce back from it? Will he be lucky the same way, of course, that Nick Wayne did earlier? I don't know. I mean, Robbie X is a fantastic wrestler, not to mention a very impressive high flyer. But unfortunately, that didn't do any well for Kosa Fujita. For some reason, he started out great, but now he's working down thanks to Robbie X when he applied the X Express. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. So basically, he has a total of 6 points with 2 wins and with three wins and 2 losses. And the same thing with Kosa Fujita, 6 points, 3 wins and 2 losses. Now back to our to B block, we have Maho versus Yo. So I wasn't too sure what to expect. But what I liked about this match is there was like a bit of a, I don't know if you call it hot potato, but it's more like the referee got caught in the middle. If you guys remember, he got Red Shoes got caught in the crossfires of Mao when he cuttered him, and of course it was Despy who used that against him. But it did not work any time, and I thought it was really impressive. But in the end, it was of course Yo with a dragon suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. However, the points goes that Yo actually gained 2 more points. He currently has, of course, with 2 wins and 3 losses. Same thing with Mao, 2 wins and 3 losses. Now we jump back to the A block. We have Dragon Dia versus Kushida. Now, of course, many people would say Kushida most likely could win the entirety of the tournament because he is one of the top junior heavyweights competitors in New Japan. But the real question is, can he pull it off? I mean, Dragon Dia is a very fantastic wrestler, not again deny it. But of course, Kushida was able to walk away with the win when he applied the hoverboard lock, and just like that, Dragon Dia actually had to tap out. So that gives Kushida his next 2 points with a total of 6, with a 3 win and 2 losses. And the same thing with Dragon Dia, 3 win, 2 losses. Now we jump back to B block. We have Taiji Ishimori versus Robbie Eagles. Now, for what you guys don't know, if you know this completely or not, these two used to be tag team partners. For those who don't know, when Robbie Eagles first arrived to New Japan, he was a member of Bullet Club until he defected to Chaos, and then they of course joined TMDK. But what's interesting is when Taiji Ishimori was intending to do the Super Junior Tag League, he called in Robbie Eagles to join, and of course that's what happened. But since Robbie Eagles went on his own, left Chaos, he was unsuccessful to beat Taiji Ishimori. So that's always been one of the key factors of these two. I mean, they were former tag partners, but they never, I don't know if they ever win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team belts. That's something I cannot recall. But Robbie Eagles has never once beaten Taiji Ishimori, but he came up short once again when Ishimori applied the Bloody Cross, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. However, Taiji gained 2 more points, giving up the total of 4 with 2 wins and 3 losses. And as for Robbie Eagles, he's stuck in the same thing with just 2 wins and 3 losses. Now we jump into A block. We have Francisco Akira versus Master Wato. Now, what is interesting is, of course, we might have think Francisco Akira, who is determined to reach the top of the mountain of course, of the junior heavyweight division down in New Japan. He's been successful on certain times, but unsuccessful in trying to gain his goal as the gain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. But however, Master Wato is also in that predicament. But what's interesting is both these men threw everything. I mean, Akira tried to apply the fireball, but somehow Wato anticipated this move, but he applied his finisher known as Residente, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So basically now, Master Wato has a total of 6 points with 3 wins and 2 losses. As for Francisco Akira, he currently has 2 wins and 3 losses. Now our next match, we have the B block. Well, we have that scumbag Show taking on our current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. However, Show, as you know, predictable scumbag of the earth that he is. You probably want to know, he tried to do something stupid. Because here's the thing, he claims he's the best competitor. Bullshit. Nope. He's a cheater. He's a scumbag. He likes to cheat his way through. He tried to pull a fast one because apparently he's like, it's time to take out the trash. He thought, of course, someone attacked Despy. Well, Despy, on the other hand, well, he kicked Yujiro's ass. He anticipated it. Come on, guys. I mean, look, you know you're a target. You know you have something that Show wants. He wants to prove he's the best. No, Show's a scumbag. That's the whole problem. So Show thought he was smart, but no. But Desperado, I have to say, I give him a lot of credit because he knows Show's a dirtbag. He would do whatever it takes to win. And of course, Yujiro, oh my god, this scumbag tried to get involved too, helping Show. But unfortunately, it did not do any well for him because Show, well, too bad. You got the pinchy loco right in your face, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. So, Show, go back to mommy in your big ass diapers and try to say, Mommy, I didn't win this match. Why? Well, Despy, of course, he wins with a total of 6 points with 3 wins and 2 losses. Well, Show, well, I hope you never win this tournament because right now you have 4 points with 2 wins and 3 losses. So, better luck next time, punk. Now, our main event. This one's a crucial one for everybody. We have, of course, Clark Connors versus Hiromu Takahashi. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Clark Connors will brutalize him. No, duh. But that's not the real problem. The real situation, or say, the real importance. The importance is, if Clark Connor defeats Hiromu, that means that he is right now on the verge of reaching the top. That's the game right there. But Hiromu, as you know, he could endure whatever Clark Connor throws at him. Not to mention, he grabbed Daryl. Clark Connors grabbed Daryl, then threw the tire at him. But Hiromu, on the other hand, took care of business as a true champ that he is. He took him out first. He applied Time Bomb, and then Time Bomb 2, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. He gained 2 more points with a total of 4, with 2 wins and 3 losses. As for Clark Connors, well, he is now currently stuck at 4 points with 2 wins and 3 losses. So we're right now in a good position, but anything could change moving forward. So we will see what happens until then. So we will do more of the Best of the Super Juniors. Just don't know when will be the next one, but stay tuned for that. But as of right now, we are officially done with, of course, with the reviews. Let's move on to do our last and final thing. That is, of course, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin, as always, with upcoming events with the promotions. Now, for those who know, I recently reviewed the much recent ChocoPro show number 450. However, they announced for their upcoming event in Shinjuku Face number 452, dubbed the Apple Film. This will take place on the 29th of this month in Shinjuku Face, in case somebody asked. However, 2 matches have been announced, and both of them are in fact championship matches. The first one is for the Asian Dream Tag Team belts. The current champions Bellflowers, consisting of Sayaka and Makoto, will defend their championships against Soy and Miya Yotsuba. So this will be the first attempt for tag team gold. Now, some of you may question why would Miya chose Soy. I'm not sure. I mean, many of you probably would love to see her team up with her sister, but of course, Miya mentioned when they introduced Nonaka for the first time that they will work as an individual wrestlers, but there'll be times they'll team up, and this is not that time where they'll do it. So it's interesting that she'll team up with Soy from Evolution, but we'll see how things will roll out from there. Now the second match, this one was announced very strangely. This is for the Super Asia Championship. Mei Suruga has nominated, of course, the current Stardom High Speed Champion Mei Sira as the challenger, and of course this was announced during the Stardom event, and Mei Sira, of course, accepted it. Now, I did not see this event, but yes, that's the idea. So that match will take place. Now, as you know, House of Glory will be making their presence known in Texas in July on the 11th. It was announced that our current House of Glory Women's Champion, Indy Hartwell, will be present there too. So I'm sure she'll defend her championship against whoever lines up. So we'll see about that. And then finally, on Oz Academy, there's going to be another event taking place on July 24th for the JJ produced Jaguar Yokota debut 49th anniversary show. So yes, veteran wrestler Jaguar Yokota will be in action. She'll team up with Mayumi Ozaki and of course our current Red Belt champion and the Regina the Wave champion, Saya Kamitani from Hate. Their opponents are none other than our former AEW Women's Champion and a former Regina the Wave champion, Hikaru Shida. She'll team up with Sayuri Anu and our current White Belt champion, Starlight Kid. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch. I can't wait to see it. So I think that's pretty much it right now for our upcoming events. Let's move on to some developments here. Now, as you all know, there's been more talks recently about Sabu's death. Many people were questioning about Sabu's health after what happened last month in Las Vegas during the GCW's Joy Janela Spring Break. However, it was saying that, of course, they have not released the autopsy yet because of the unfinished divorce. So basically, we still don't know. But someone commented about this saying, do we really need to know what really happened to him? I mean, can we just let him rest? I'm sure there are fans that want answers, but the real question, are we going to like what we see? That's the thing. I mean, that's something I'm sure we have to consider. I mean, do we really want to know what really happened to him? But we'll see how things turned out. Once again, WWE, as you know, they announced for championships recently with Evolved and, of course, the WWE ID. Well, they did it again with their upcoming LFG, the future Legend Future something, you know, that new show that they put out recently. So yes, there's going to be another championship that's taking place. They just unveiled it by Shawn Michaels. So yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but you guys tell me. Now, good news. Many of you know this, that Darby Allin, as you know, has not been seen for quite some time. He decided to take a trip to Mount Everest to climb the mountain, and this happened, of course, on May 18, 2025, 8:50 a.m. local time. He, in fact, made it to the top of Mount Everest. So, yes! So, he conquered Mount Everest. So, somebody mentioned this, and I think many of you may not agree with it, or many of you may do. I don't care how you say it. Some say, next up is the AEW World Champions. So, we'll see how that will happen. So, congratulations, Darby, of course, on making it to Mount Everest. I'm sure many people were scared out of their mind because Mount Everest is no effing joke. I would never climb because, you know, hell, because I'm very picky when it comes to eating, and not to mention, I'm afraid of heights. So, our last development here, many of you know this, recently there's been people talking, how come we never seen Pom Harajuku coming to the States? Well, it was later announced that she'll be making her participation in the Texas show that will take place later on in July, I believe. So we'll see. Just have our fingers crossed on that. I'm sure many fans will love to see that. I think that's pretty much it what we have for our episode. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. coming up. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. But as I mentioned before, I'm going to try to keep up with some upcoming events, mostly with the Joshi wrestlers. And if there's any events from this month, I'll definitely try to do those. Like right now, I'm thinking about House of Glory and everything else. So we'll see how things will roll up. So just wish me luck. I want to get through all of it. But for now, that's pretty much it. So I'll wing it as for the next episode. But until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.